वेलकम बैक। और इस वक्त एक बड़ी अच्छी खबर हम आपसे शेयर करेंगे। अच्छी खबर के साथ साथ आपको मेहमान से भी मिलवाएंगे। पाकिस्तान में फुटबॉल का क्रेज़ तो बहुत है, फुटबॉल मैचेस भी हमारी यूथ जो है बहुत शौक से देखती है और खेलते भी हैं। फुटबॉलर्स अब काफ़ी सारे आपको नज़र आएंगे, लेकिन जब आप इंटरनेशनल लेवल की बात करते हैं तो वहाँ हम कहीं ना कहीं मार खाते जा रहे हैं। कभी हम पे बैन लग जाता है, कभी कुछ हो जाता है, कभी कुछ हो जाता है। मगर एक अच्छी खबर मैं आपको ये बताऊँ कि हमारे यहाँ पाकिस्तान की जो विमेन फुटबॉल टीम है वो सऊदी अरब गई, जहाँ 4 मुल्कों के दरमियान मैचेस थे और पाकिस्तान की कारकर्दगी, पाकिस्तान दूसरे नंबर पे आया, कारकर्दगी बहुत बेहतरीन थी। और उसमें जो एक गोल हुआ जिसके बड़े क्लिप्स भी वायरल हुए हैं, वो गोल किया था मारिया खान ने, जो फुटबॉलर मारिया खान है। और मारिया खान इस वक्त हमारे साथ मौजूद है। मारिया खान के बारे में मैं आपको बैकग्राउंड बता दूं कि वो हाशिम खान साहब की नवासी हैं। हाशिम खान साहब पहले पाकिस्तान के स्क्वॉश के ओलंपियन, उनकी ये नवासी है। सो इट्स इन द जीन्स, इट्स इन द ब्लड। स्पोर्ट्स की अगर बात की जाए, लेकिन स्क्वॉश से निकल के वो फुटबॉल की तरफ आई हैं। ये कुछ आपको मनाजिर हम इस वक्त दिखा भी रहे हैं। हमारे यहाँ लड़के और लड़कियों में अब फुटबॉल का क्रेज़ बढ़ता भी जा रहा है। सो फुटबॉल का जो इस वक्त का पीरियड है, जिसमें बहुत सारी मेहनत करनी है और बहुत से चैलेंजेस हैं, इनसे अगर हम निकल जाते हैं तो हमारे बच्चों के लिए ये बड़ी आसानी हो जाएगी कि आगे अगर वो फुटबॉल को अपना करियर भी बनाना चाहें। क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में, चाइना में तो फुटबॉल के लिए बाकायदा अलग से प्लानिंग हो रही है, मैदान बन रहे हैं और वो उन्होंने अगले 5 से 10 साल की प्लानिंग कर रखी है कि जी फुटबॉल के हवाले से हम क्या क्या करेंगे। मारिया खान इस वक्त दुबई में मौजूद हैं, वहीं वो जॉब करती हैं, वहाँ पर खेलती भी हैं, मगर पाकिस्तान की नेशनल टीम में उनकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन होती है। इस वक्त हम मारिया को वेलकम करते हैं। मारिया को या पश्तो आती है या अंग्रेजी आती है तो आप कॉल कर सकते हैं और पश्तो में उनसे सवाल कर सकते हैं। मैं उनसे अंग्रेजी में बात करूंगी क्योंकि पश्तो मुझे नहीं आती। मारिया, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम टू द शो।
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me.
But you understand Urdu, right? If somebody talks to you in Urdu, you understand that.
Ji, tora tora.
Tora Tora, aisa aata hai, Tora Tora. Okay, so Maria, congratulations to you and your team. We are so proud of you that you have gone to this competition, and Pakistan came second, I think.
Gee, yeah, so we were able to come second after we equalized with Saudi in our last game.
So how was the experience? What are the rare things that we haven't seen on TV or social media that you would want to communicate and share with the audiences?
Gee, no, experience bahut acha hai. It was a great time. It was a great experience, I think, for the entire team, the players, the staff, the federation itself. I think something that's really nice to share is that we have such a young team, mashallah, and a lot of girls were able to represent Pakistan for the very first time in their careers. So I think, it's these kinds of things that we really need to celebrate and really acknowledge the potential that, women's sports has in Pakistan.
Yeah. So what do you think about football in particular in context with women? There are young girls who are interested to come in the national team. What is the scope?
Gee, so I've been part of Pakistan football since 2018, and I'll never forget my first experience back then is, despite the lack of facilities, resources, etc., there were over 300 girls and women that just wanted to play and wanted to compete. And that was back in 2018. Since then, that number has grown so much more, where there's almost thousands of girls that are trying out for the national team.
Women, where has this number come from?
So based on the trials that we had for this past tour, so the staff traveled to, I think, 7 or so cities to identify talent for the national team, and the numbers just keep increasing. So the demand from our side is definitely there.
Yeah, it's there. So we have to provide for that demand. Okay, so Maria, tell us about that famous goal that has given you a lot of highlight and that's viral on social media at the moment.
Gee, so that experience, I think for me, I love any time I get a free kick on that side of the pitch. It's something that I practice regularly. So it is one of my favorite set pieces. My goal anytime I'm taking a set piece is to just get it on target. If you get it on goal, if you give it a chance, there's no telling what can happen. And alhamdulillah, in this situation, I kept it on target, gave it a chance, and it worked in our favor.
Okay, did you feel burdened or any kind of pressure because four other teams were there and they were better equipped than us because they have been training, they have been provided with better facilities. If we talk about Pakistan national team, we are not given that importance or attention. So did you or any of the girls felt little bit of pressure specifically from any of the teams?
So I think for me, those are one of the best environments to play in is when there's no expectation of you.
Okay.
People aren't expecting you to do well. People aren't
Yeah.
expecting you guys to perform. And then you go out and prove everyone wrong.
They didn't know that you
And
go
that's
there.
exactly what that's exactly what our girls did, and it showed that Pakistani women, Pakistani girls, and the Pakistan women's national team are resilient.
Yeah. So you have been playing for over 20 years.
Yes. Giving away my age.
So you started really early. Because before the start of the show, I said, I made this a comment, and this is a compliment. I said that you look 20. How come you have been playing for more than 20 years?
Gee, I was fortunate enough to have access to football at a very young age. I started off as a goalkeeper, and then I've transitioned over the past 10 years into playing in the midfield.
So tell us about your journey. I mean, it must be inspiring for young girls because back then when you started, there were more difficulties. People were not very open about football for girls. Now, as everybody is gaining interest and most of the youth, girls and boys, they have interest in playing football. But back then when you started, there must have been certain challenges and glitches during the route that you adopted.
So I was raised in the US, and even though I was raised in the US, I come from a very very proud Pakistani home, where there's lots of Pakistani cultures that were ingrained in us, even though we lived abroad. So there were challenges that I faced in regards to playing football or playing sports in general. I had to make sure that my family supported me and understood that I could still be a good Pakistani, that was religious and stuck to my cultural beliefs, but also was able to play sports. And once my parents understood that, they saw that it taught me life skills. It taught me how to be communicate. It taught me leadership. It taught me hard work and commitment. So I think once my parents understood the life skills that sports can teach, I think it was much easier to get their support and get them to understand the value of it.
Yeah, agreed. Maria, so you have been raised in US and you are, at the moment you're living in Dubai, you have had access to most of the teams, you have had access to most of the opportunities. What made you decide that you should play in Pakistan national team? What made you come back to Pakistan and play in the team? You could have played with anybody else. You could have played in, you could have played in US, you could have played in Dubai, you could have, represented them since you had this opportunity and you have been meeting them. They were accessible to you. They are accessible to you at the moment as well. So what made you come back and, be part of Pakistan national team?
So it's exactly to your point where you mentioned, I had all the resources and opportunities in front of me. And because I had that, I was able to go through those systems. And I felt that, I need to take this education and everything I've learned and bring Pakistan because the talent is there. The girls are there, right? These girls, if you are able to just share information and bring best practice and, be that kind of source of education, then, why not help my people grow, right? I saw what my grandfather contributed to the sports in Pakistan, specifically squash. I feel like it's my duty and my responsibility to be able to contribute half of or even a fraction of what grandfather has been able to contribute. And for me, it's specifically in women's sports in the country.
And I've seen that people living abroad, they have this connection with Pakistan and seeing the younger generation connected this way with Pakistan, it gives a lot of inspiration and a lot of boost, I think, to the people in the country. Thank you so much, Maria. Wish you all the best for the future endeavors related to sports and otherwise. Thank you so much. So ये मारिया खान थी, और इनकी जो आखिरी बात थी वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट थी कि ये यूएस में पली बड़ी हैं और ये दुबई में रहती हैं, बट स्टिल ये पाकिस्तान की नेशनल टीम के साथ खेलती हैं क्योंकि दिल जो है वो पाकिस्तान के साथ है. तो ये बड़ी एक इंस्पिरेशनल बात थी. और बाकी ऑब्वियसली इनका जो गोल है या इनका जो गेम है वो बहुत वायरल इस वक्त हुआ है, जो आप सोशल मीडिया पे भी देख रहे हैं. और हम लोग अपलोड थोड़ा कम करते हैं पाकिस्तान की विमेन क्रिकेट टीम को भी, फुटबॉल टीम को भी, या जहाँ ख़वातीन का थोड़ा सा हमें लगता है तो हम अपलोड करते हैं, लेकिन हमें उस तरह से पता नहीं चलता. सो बहरहाल इनसे बात करके खुशी हुई. होपफुली आप तक भी ये तमाम इन्फॉर्मेशन और खुशी पहुँची होगी. एक ब्रेक, उसके बाद हम हाजिर होते हैं.